Good evening, everybody. It's Benching and Bullshitting, episode 58. We're getting close to the big old 60, right? And then eventually, 9 episodes later, it'll be episode 69. Because that's a cool number, right? Anyhow, yeah. Hey, we've been really busy, everybody. Haven't gone live in a minute. And we've been to Ohio twice. We're going to go to Vegas next week. And it's just been really hectic. So if you're on YouTube, thank you for joining me here tonight. If you could like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. And, yep, let's see. Just got to take out the trash real quick. See you, trash. Cool. Anyhow, let's go. One Rep Max is on YouTube. Thanks for being here. Flip, what's going on? All right, sweet. So I just started the prep for the Arnold. I'm doing 2 competitions back to back at the Arnold Classic this year. So training has been just getting ramped up again. I kind of took a break. I took a little bit of a hiatus. Matt Brooks, what's up? Not really hiatus, I guess, but I took a break. Took a break after I benched 1,400. And Tony, what's up? And I took the entire month of August. Really September. I didn't really start benching heavy until like mid-September. Like it's been a long break. And it doesn't feel natural to take a break that long. Yeah, it's been a little bit. Yeah, I've been real busy, Matt. I've been jumping all over the damn place. Been to Ohio twice. We're just in Cincinnati. Came back from that, and now next Monday we'll be driving back up to Ohio to fly out of Akron, Canton on Tuesday to go to Vegas for the Wabdo Worlds. So we're going to be at the Wabdo Worlds. Be happy to meet you. Happy to see you. We've been busy as hell. Been real busy, but we love it. That's why we do it. But yeah, so the catalyst for getting back into the heavy benching kind of started with wanting to do the Arnold. There's 2 meets that I'm doing. I'm doing the Anderson Invitational, the bench press invitational on Saturday, and then I'm doing the Last Man Standing on Sunday. So it's going to be a busy weekend on top of working the booth. And then Dave over on YouTube says turkey or ham, stuffing or taters. Actually, we're doing steak. We're having a Texas Roadhouse themed Thanksgiving. All of us, me and my friendsgiving. So, and stuffing or tater. I guess I hate stuffing, so I'd have to go with taters. So. Good question though. Let's see. Shane Green, Strongman says, thanks for the motivation, bro. Your info helped me hit my first 315. Awesome. 3 plays. That's a big milestone. Time to push for 365. I hope your training goes well. Yeah, I think it's going well. I just have to stop traveling so damn much so I can actually train and have consistency. But it's going all right. We'll get there. Yeah, he says no turkey. Let's see. Martina says, man, 2 weeks out and I got admitted for a urinary tract infection. That sucks. UTI. Unfortunately, I'll be out on Friday with 1 week out, so I had to stand down. Really frustrating. Hey, life never stops coming at you no matter what you do. So that's unfortunate reality, but damn, man, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. Let's see what we got here. 1 Rep Max. So I was watching a seminar by Sebastian Burns, and he was talking about how he can touch 315 with the same shirt he benched 700 thoughts. I imagine it's probably the way you wear the shirt. Yes, I imagine if you had the shirt way high up on the neck, wore it with straight sleeves, and really brought the weight very, very, very low. Because with 315, you could bring it out of the groove probably just fine and be able to bring it back. So, but yeah, then for 700, you would crank the collar. A lot of those guys use denims. You could crank the collar way down, bunch up the fabric behind the triceps. Yeah, those were the denim days. That's what Matt just said. So yeah, I think I can see that happening though. Oh, Tiffany's on here. What's going on, Tiff? Haven't talked to you in a while. What's going on? So, but what we do? Freaking 2 weeks in a row, I've gone up over 1,200 pounds, which is great. But it needs to be more. I got to do more than that. This past weekend, this past Saturday, we hit 1205 full, like, what do you call it? Full range. Yeah. All the way, full touch 1205. Went pretty well. But my forearm from 2 weeks prior had gotten a stinger right through here in my forearm. Usually it was on the inside. Now it's on top. I went to Jericho, and there was one band of muscle right here that was super tight. He's like, oh, yep, feel that? I'm like, I can feel that. And he worked on it and got rid of it. And then as I was benching the 1205 on the way up, I had a muscle, like that muscle, like released. And it was like a, when you crack your knuckles. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. So it didn't hurt, but I stopped. And I was like, okay, that's good for today. Yeah, having my forearm, like a muscle release to where it sounded like a knuckle being cracked was not good for up here. So I did not go any further. But we're getting back to it. Tiffany says, trying to come in soon, get a hug. Work and school have kept me from taking that drive. Miss you guys. Miss you too. You got to come back sometime. We miss you. Matt Brooks said, I know Merck told me once that he didn't bench 800 until he learned to touch 500 in that same shirt. It's a good skill to have, especially in the days of poly and denim, which I think they're not dead. They're just, now that there's something else that's more popular, the band shirts, the unlimited division, poly, it still has its place. There's always going to be the divisions. You can always do single ply, multiply. Wonder Mech says, thanks. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat up yourself too much about the 1200. I'm sure you could use the red one, 3 900-pound attempts and still win by a long shot. Yeah, I don't know. Well, so what Wonder MX is getting at is that the first Arnold meet that I'm doing is a 3 lift for a total. It's all 3 of your attempts combined for a total. So it's going to be very who of everybody to get all 3 attempts, because if you miss one attempt, your total goes down by an entire bench. So it's not just like, oh, I can miss my opener, I can have an oopsie on my second, come back on my third and still win the meet, or just get my opener and then miss my second and third, or pass on my second and third and win. It doesn't work that way. You have to get all 3 attempts to get a combined bench press total, and that determines your placing. Now, the last man standing is very different. I experienced that for the first time this Arnold, which was really fun. 6 attempts. Most meets, or all meets, you attempt 3 per lift. I did 6. So the heavy weights start out at 750, and then 50-pound increments. So everybody does 750. Bar goes at 50 pounds. Everybody does 800. Bar goes at 50 more pounds. 50-pound jumps until everybody starts missing, and then it's the last man standing. So I'll be doing 1 meet on Saturday, and then the last man standing on Sunday. So 2 competitions back to back. Matt Brooks says, I think touching lighter even in a bancher will help you get comfortable bringing the bar down with conviction when it gets heavier. Yeah, there's some value to that. Absolutely. Yes. Let's see. Anabolic Goat says, got to get a new poly. My Super Katana low cut stretch out, it has no more pop. Should I just get the regular Super Katana? I am not a fan of the LCC, the low cut collar. That's a Titan collar. I'm not a fan of that shirt or that collar design. Good initiative, bad judgment. I don't like it. It stretches out very quick. I'm a bigger fan of just getting a regular Super Katana. You can, of course, get a Super Katana. If you go through Anderson Powerlifting, you can get what's called the KLA collar. That's Kilo Lima Alpha. KLA collar. It's an Anderson exclusive. It's something you have to call for and ask. And they'll take out that stock collar and put a wider, thicker, deeper cut collar. It's only Anderson can do it. That will last you a long time. The thing with the katanas as well is that you don't always want to be cranking the shirt down. You want to get one that's tight on you. You want to bench with that collar up on your neck to where you're just using the chest plate. Work the chest plate. That collar is kind of your backup, right, for heavier attempts. So use the chest plate, keep the collar high until you get your first initial touch. Okay, wearing the shirt in its most basic form, or let's say first gear, I can touch 600. Okay, now I'm going to shift gears. I'm going to pull the collar down a little bit, see what the shirt does then. That second gear becomes a 620 shirt. Okay, now I'm going to pull the collar down and torque the sleeves halfway. Now it's a 650 shirt. You can shift gears when it comes to these single ply polys and the way you wear them. So, you don't. But when you do use the collar, particularly on the LCC katana, it stretches out very, very fast. So, yeah, I would just go with the normal super katana. And if you want to go a step further, go with the Anderson Powerlifting and get the KLA collar. It's a magnificent collar. It's the collar I've used pretty much on all my katanas since I was like 20 years old. Jay Rupo, what's up? John, what's on here? I just stuffed my damn face with Texas Roadhouse, and that butter be like crack. It fucking is. My sister-in-law hates it, though. That's fucking weird to us. We don't understand that. She does not like that butter. I can swim in that shit. Let's see. Wonder Mex. Yeah, and Sebastian talks about touching the lighter weights gets you used to that sweet groove. Yep. And Wonder Mex says here is where it gets confusing, though. He says you need to practice relaxing the wrists come back, and on pin presses practice the elbows coming out. That confuses me as well. That confuses me as well. Martina says, have you ever seen those Japanese Hamura shirts? No, but my buddy Paul has one of the Oni shirts from Japan. It's really cool. It's got the Japanese logo on the sleeve, I think. It says Oni. He got it for like $80. Super cheap. Does it perform fantastic? I don't think so. It was kind of cool because you could see the lines of the material. Like on the chest, they run one way, and the sleeves run the opposite way. Like the lines go this way and this way. It's really cool. But I haven't seen these Hamuri. No, I'm not seeing those. Tony says on YouTube, I'd love to be able to use my shirt more, but it's damn near impossible to get spotters. That's a big hurdle. It's absolutely necessary. That's tough. That's a tough situation to be in. Chaplain David says, have you used an F8 bench shirt insert? I have. If you have, what do you think about it? Just got one, and I like it better than the Widowmaker. They have value. I absolutely love the inserts. You can use them by themselves as their own training tool. You can attach them to your existing shirt. Attach to make it a 2-ply into a 3-ply or a 3 into a 4 or whatever you want. I would definitely. Yeah, they're extremely valuable piece of equipment to have for training purposes. What's the difference between bench shirts and a slingshot? Well, the slingshot is what it is. It's a band that goes across the front with armholes, and a shirt is constructed into a shirt. I don't know how else to explain that. Matt Brooks says, Uncle Nick said he got so used to doing that in the denim days that it carried over for him in metal multiply and overkill shirts, actually to the point that he says he can't train himself out of it. I mean, he's a good bencher. He's got deadlift arms, but he's a damn good bencher, though. He comes up to us, or I guess he comes down to us from Maryland, and he puts up 700-800 pounds anytime he trains with us, so he's a good bencher. By the way, I saw your Karen's Extreme after the live, so I couldn't comment on it. It's beautiful. Yeah, a friend of mine, just for keepsake, because that's what got me into equip benching, was a 2-ply Karen Klein denim. A friend of mine named Erica Folter from Ohio had one, said, I don't need it anymore. I don't want it. I'm never going to fucking use it. And he gave it to me just for keepsake. I'm not going to use it. It doesn't even fit. But I wanted to have one just to have. And they're gorgeous. They were the best cut denims ever made in the sport of powerlifting, in my opinion. We need to talk to him into doing another meet again. Yeah, I mean, he did that charity. What's that charity one called? The Relentless? Is that what it's called? So he just did one not too long ago. I think he just deadlifted. He might have benched. I don't remember. He'll do another meet soon. I have no doubt. He'll do another one. No doubt. But let's see what we got here. I'm going live on YouTube and Instagram, everybody. So that's why I got questions coming from both platforms. If you're on YouTube, if you don't mind subscribing to the channel, liking the video, I'd really appreciate that. Let's see. Eric Schneider says, had about 3 months of wrist pain during benching. Sits in my hand correctly. Any advice to heal it? Forearm or wrist work? Yeah, the very first thing I'd say is probably just rest. If you're in position and it's still hurting, you probably need to back off a little bit. But yeah, forearm work or wrist work, yes, both are necessary. That's what I got into trouble with when my weight started going heavier and heavier and heavier, benching 12, 13, 14. The weights kept getting heavier. My forearms were underdeveloped. They were not up to par to handle those kind of weights. So what I had to do was start working my forearms like seriously, like a bodybuilder, doing all sorts of things. Wrist curls, wrist roller for the flexors and extensors, ulnar deviation, radial deviation with maces, twists, just building them like a fucking madman. And then the pain started going away. It's like, I brought them up to par. Now the pain goes away. So you absolutely need to build them up. Like any other part of your body, you got to think too. You have a wrist wrap on your forearm and then a shirt that's up here. This is compressed. This is compressed. This is completely exposed to all the forces being put upon it during your heavy benching. So this absolutely needs to be strong and resilient. Let's see. Yeah, Wonder Max, I get it just for the memories. The cut looks very similar to my Ginny's. Yeah, I know Ginny makes her own shirts. Difference is on the sleeve, chest, seam, and on the front. Mine has nylon backpack straps to prevent blowout. Oh, okay. Gotcha. You're welcome, Eric. No problem. Held up great so far. Like my GAE Inzer with hella blowouts. Inzer and blowouts. Why do those things always seem to go hand in hand? Interesting. Matt Brooks says, I actually haven't been back in a full shirt since July 29th. Oh, that's when me and you competed together. Not really by choice. I've been so busy with work and whatnot this Friday night. That changes back to shirting up every week again. Fantastic, Matt. Good to hear. Glad to hear that. Good. Yeah, July 29th. Holy shit. That was my last competition too. It's been a while. Shit. But yeah, so I'm trying to find my groove again when it comes to benching. So November, like the very beginning of November, marked when I officially came back into training for the heavy bench. And then I put out a YouTube video. It's actually going to be a series, if y'all caught it. My pursuit of the 1,500 pound bench that started. And the catalyst for getting back into heavy benching is the Arnold coming up. The Anderson Bench Press Invitational is actually a money opportunity. There's cash prizes up for grabs. Between 4 divisions, 1 for the females and 3 for the men, that makes $2,500 up for grabs for each division. So there's a lot on the line. That's a lot of fucking money for us. That's actually a lot of money for us. So that I have to be successful at that. You can't just think, oh, that's going to be cool. I got to go do that. That you always have to keep in mind, you have to show up and perform. You can't just show up and think things are just going to go your way. You always have to show up and actually go through the steps, go through the ritualistic steps from getting to the meet, what you drink the night before, the morning of, what you eat, how you do your warm-ups, making sure you're not too hot or too cold. I got a fan going right here, my portable fan that I always take with me to meets, keeping me cool right now, even though it's middle of November. And of course I've got, hydration. I always carry my sodium canteen with me. So, you have to show up and you have to perform and do well. And I'm really excited for this Arnold Classic. From what I've heard, this Arnold is predicted to break its attendance record. This Arnold will be the busiest Arnold. So they're predicting this will be the busiest one in terms of attendance that's ever been, which I've been there when it's fucking busy. Back in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14. Holy shit, you can't move. I'd leave the booth, say, hey, Ken, I'm going to go take a piss. I'll be back in 45 minutes to an hour. It could take me 20, 30 minutes just to walk through the crowd to get to the facilities, take a piss, and then walk back, So to break that kind of attendance, just, I don't know, man. Oh boy. Let's see here. Tactful Security says, what supplements are you using right now? Still Redcon 1 stuff. No, I couldn't afford to keep buying it. So, no, I don't use Redcon 1 anymore. It was just too expensive. I went through a round of it. I really enjoy it, but I just can't afford it. It's too expensive. So now I'm just back on my original mass gainer, the MHP Triple XL 1350 weight gainer. I got a 12-pound bag. I just drink it till it's gone, buy another 12-pound bag. It's off of like bodybuilding.com or Muscle and Strength or something like that, one of the discount supplement sites. I got back on creatine. I did a monohydrate. I did the loading phase and the maintenance phase, and I saw almost no results. I was like, yeah, fuck this. And I threw that away. It cost $15. So I'm just on a weight gainer. No, I will say sodium, the element packets, drinkelement.com, not sponsored, just saying, I drink that shit every day. Sodium has been one of the best, I guess, since I'm still like natural, I don't use performance enhancers, but for me, sodium is a performance enhancer. Oh boy, I get strong on sodium. I take about 3 to 4 grams of sodium per day. It's about how much I drink. That's just what I drink, not even like what's included in my food. So yeah, I get real strong off the element packets, dude. Real strong. So that's all I take. Weight gainer and sodium. I'd love to have a supplement sponsorship of some kind, but I just, I don't know. I would love to have it, but under the same breath, it's like I see their Instagram pages. It's different than when I was sponsored by MHP back in like 2013, 14, and 15 for 3. I was an MHP athlete for 3 years, and Stin Efforting has a whole series on sodium. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it is a wonderful, wonderful thing to have in your body. Your hydration is not determined by what's in your blood, it's what's in your tissues. You can't store hydration in your tissues without salt. So that's great. But when I was sponsored with MHP, social media was not as big and stupid and dumb as it is now. So like there were requirements I had to meet every month, but it wasn't like you go to any supplement site or IG page. Now it's like you got to post the most cringy, like just influencer style videos about them. And I'm like, oh man, I'll talk you up. I'll go on live and talk about you guys and try to promote for you, but like, can I just perform? Just get on the platform and be successful and put your logo on my singlet and I don't know. So maybe that's what's keeping me back, holding me back from like really trying to pursue a supplement sponsorship. I think that's just up here. That's why I haven't done it yet. But I could use it. It's expensive. Dave Van Eaton says, I saw a kid, Zach Myers. He's actually an Anderson athlete on Dave Tate's show. He said he planned to go multiply and try for 3K, another name and multiply division under 30, fresh blood, 23-25 in sleeves, 628 bench and comp, fun to watch. Yeah, he's a good kid. He lives he's in Maryland or he's only like an hour from us. He's not far. Yeah, he's an Anderson athlete for a good reason too. He's a good guy. And then Randy's on here. What's up? So anyhow, main total focus. Like I said, I'm trying to get back to normal with training. It's been very tough. 2 Ohio trips back to back. We had the Swiss Symposium in Columbus, came home for like a week, turned right back around, drove to Cincinnati to help my team, but also judge at Leah Reichman and Laura Phelps's North of the Border IPA meet. And it was actually in Kentucky, but technically in Kentucky, but we were staying in Cincinnati. And then we came home, and then literally 2 weeks flat from when we came home from that. So this coming Monday, we are back on the road back to Ohio to drop the dog off at mom's and catch a plane from Akron, Canton to go to Vegas for a week for the Wabdo Worlds. I haven't been to a Wabdo World since 2012. It'll be a fun trip. So when all that flying and traveling is done, like we are after this Vegas trip, we're not going anywhere. Our next trip is the Arnold. So training should be back to normal, and I should start getting back up to the poundages I want to be at and be consistent. Wonder at Max, besides most people that are sponsored are so disconnected from the reality and struggles of the working class, so they end up taking hundreds a month worth of subs, forgetting us unrealistic for normies. I mean, there's a lot I wish I could try, and like different companies and different things. I can't, I can't afford it. Did you ever use that buff stuff gift certificate you got at the meet in July? It's been 4 months. I guarantee I definitely have not. I definitely never used it. No. I think I may have misplaced it. I don't think I did. Do you think Jamal, I think you mean, what's his name? Jamal Brawner, hits 1,100 dead in a comp? Why not? I mean, he's pulling it in training. Yeah, he'll do it. I definitely think so. If he doesn't do it first, I think my boy Dan Grigsby will definitely do it. He did have too much luck here at this American Pro. He still placed really high, but he got some bad calls on his top 2 deadlifts. He got his opener at like 992 or something like that and missed like 1,040 and 1,060. But yeah, one of those two will definitely do it. Let's see. You ever consider trying you ever consider trying a regular katana to have more chest plate to bench with? Yeah, so what David is talking about is you have a chest plate. Okay, you have a chest plate. If you have a super neck, it cuts down into the chest plate like this. So you're taking some of the chest plate away. But what David's saying is, would you consider not doing that to where you have now this much material on the chest to potentially add to the lift as opposed to this much chest with a neck? I've thought about experimenting with that. I just have to have the want and the desire to stay in poly. And I just haven't had. I tried it, and I just wasn't having fun with it. My shirt stretched out, and I needed alterations. But I got the Arnold coming up, and at the chance of winning money, I'm definitely using band shirts for that comp. Everybody's gonna be using a band shirt for that competition. So it kind of put poly to the curb again. I got back into the band shirts. So, but I've thought about experimenting with that. Yes, I just have not done it yet. You need to try his protein out, bro. I know. Someday. Let's see. Wonder at Max, you brought another good point. You got to commit to one brand, but what if their protein is good, but the pre-workout sucks? You still have to promote it and can't jump to another brand. It locks you into this one brand. So now with MHP, there was not a single thing from MHP I didn't love. And MHP, I think they had like, I don't know what happened at some point. Because when I was sponsored by them, even in 15, when I stopped competing there for a minute, like MHP was still, they had like, I promise they had like 50 or 60 different supplements. Just a cabinet full of just different supplements. I swear they had like 50 or 60. And then somewhere down the line, they rebrand. I don't know if they rebranded is the right word, but like their logos changed, their colors changed. They got that weird, like kind of that camo weird thing, and instead of like solid blue and yellow lettering, it was all like weird kind of camo style colors and stuff. Look weird. And their supplement list dropped from like, let's round down 50 to like 10. They completely, I'll say it, they completely rebranded, and they liquidated their sponsorship program for the most part. I'm sure there's a couple of people that still are, but for the most part, no. And I don't know what happened. Somewhere down the line, they completely changed. But with MHP, what my point was, They had so many different supplements and so many different flavors. Like, nothing they put out sucked. Like, MHP had good everything. Their weight gainer, I still use their weight gainer. It's in my kitchen right now. The MHP Triple XL 1350. Their weight gainer was amazing. Their protein was awesome. Their isolate was awesome. Their post-workout, pre-workouts, their protein pudding. Holy shit, when that came out. They came out and they still had it in the cans. Y'all remember that shit? They had the cans of protein pudding. One can was 30 grams of protein. And it just, between the texture and the taste, it was fucking phenomenal. It just was so damn good. Yeah, right here. Yeah, Dan says their Power Pack chocolate pudding out of the refrigerator was great. Yes, that's it. I just saw that comment there. Yeah, their protein pudding. They just had so many. They came out with I don't know how much study actually went into this shit, but they had a myostatin inhibitor product. Do y'all remember that shit? It was it came in a canister. It was Myo X. I remember it was the 2014 or 2015 Arnold, and all of our MHP shirts as athletes had Myo X on the back. Those are like their new product. So myostatin, from what I understand, is a chemical that we make naturally as humans, as you know, most creatures produce it, all mammals and stuff. And it's a hormone that inhibits the growth of skeletal muscle. So it's like an inhibitor. It's your limitation on how much skeletal muscle you can build and grow is by your myostatin levels. So like the Belgian Blue Bulls, I think, might be a different bull, have a myostatin deficiency. And they're those giant, it looks fake, like those giant bulls that are on fucking roids, like that are packed with muscle. They have a myostatin deficiency. So this Myo X product was a myostatin inhibitor. Again, how real that was, I have no fucking clue. But it was a wild product because it came in a canister just like a pre-workout or a protein, and you scooped it and you did a dry shot. You would just chew it like cereal and then swallow it. It was like vanilla. It was like crumbly vanilla cake. That's literally what it was. A little bit more crunchy, but like vanilla cake. You would just scoop it, throw it in your mouth, and you would just chew it and swallow. It was fucking delicious. And Dan says they used to have, T-Bomb. Yeah, T-Bomb. They had Atom T-Bomb, H-Bomb. Yeah. The shit flew off the shelves. Yeah, like MHP was fucking amazing. I was one of their athletes for 3. I was on their banner at the Arnold in their booth. Like, I was one of their athletes, but and I won the bench competition in 2014 up on the main stage. It was hosted, or the main sponsor was MHP, and I won that year. I benched that 950, and as an athlete, it was so great. So times have changed. So MHP is no longer like as prominent. Their supplement sponsors are gone. Their list of products has just went from here to here. Christ, man. Philip Herndon's on here. Congrats. This is as close as I can get to saying it in person. Phil just had a fucking amazing meet over at York Barbell, at the York Barbell Hall of Fame. He did a 1,070 single ply squat, 760 bench, and 800-pound deadlift for an all-time world record single ply. So good to have you on here, Philip. That's amazing. Again, I will say that in person as soon as we run into each other. Good to have you on here. That's fucking awesome. One Rep Max says, ugh, that all sounds so good. Too bad I was a Muscle Tech fanboy before I went vegan. Whoa. Now I just buy in bulk pea, soy, protein, whatever is cheaper, and I prefer unflavored. Oh, not always in the mood for chocolate, so I favor my way. Gotcha. Hey, you're welcome, Phil. That was amazing, dude. Well done. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I was, so after I was with MHP, while I was still a Marine, I got sponsored with Primera Sports. They're the guys that make the concrete creatine. I used to see concrete all the damn time in the back of like Muscle Mag, or even Powerlifting USA had them, because Mike Bridges was one of their powerlifters who was sponsored by concrete. And I was like, that sounds so fucking cool. Like, reinforced with concrete. Like, how fucking cool does that sound? So I got sponsored with them. I said, hey, this is what I've done. I'm getting back into competing. I'm a Marine right now. I'm active duty. They sponsored me immediately. How much? What do you need? And I was with them for 3 years. The last 3 years I was in the military. And then they turned around. They also rebranded and it was like they went all natural flavors, all natural everything. And their products sucked. Everything just sucked. Everything tasted like garbage. It just was not good anymore. And they had one protein. They had one protein product. It was their what was that scale called? WPC. Whatever the scale they use to grade, like what grade, what score your protein gets, there's a scale. And it goes from like 20 to 80. And 80 is the highest score that protein can be given on quality and like what's in it. And their protein got a score of 80. That has like never happened before. So it was Whey Pro 80. That's what it was. Whey Pro 80. And that was their only protein they made. They were, yeah, Philip said that concrete stuff was amazing. It was. It was a micronized creatine. So the scoop was like that fucking big. Didn't have to load it. You just took it and then worked out and you got results. They in 20, oh hell, it was the last year I was with them, probably 2019 or 2020. I think it was 19. I was almost done with my enlistment, and they changed everything, all natural flavors, and everything just was just gross, and it tasted terrible, and their products went downhill. And 90% of what I ordered from them was their protein. I would order about 2 months, because Blaine Sumner was with them, probably still is, but Blaine Sumner said, I asked him, like, how do you order? He goes, I just order what I need for like 2 months, and then they send it, and that's it. So I did that, and I was ordering like 12 jugs of protein for 2 months, and then I'd drink it all, and then I'd make another order. And I started noticing they started sending old bottles or old jugs of protein. And I was like, the fuck? Because they redid all their labels and stuff. They went all natural. So they started sending old stuff, like the old labels, like stuff they had in their back room or something. And I was like, hey, I don't have a problem. I like your old flavors better. This is not a big deal, but what's going on? I think they shorted me 1 month, like severely shorted me. I was like, that's my main, that's what I need from you guys. And they said, oh, we're discontinuing our protein because we want to put more of our efforts and funds into our other products. And I was like, well, then I have to cancel I can't be an athlete of yours anymore, because that's literally 90% of what I order from y'all. They wanted to put all their focus into their other products. Yeah, that are fucking garbage now. So I ended that sponsorship because they literally said, we're a supplement company and we're not going to make protein anymore. It's like, all right. So it's good protein too. It's fucking really, really good stuff. So yeah, Wonder MX, I think he's already hopped off, but yeah, he sent me that link at some point. That'd be great. He's probably hopped off a while ago. Don't even see them around anymore. Although I'm kind of out of the social loop, kind of intentionally, but yeah, I don't know what happened to them. Like I said, like everybody was really upset. I can't speak for Blaine. We didn't talk very often, but everybody was like, as soon as they rebranded and changed everything to like all natural this and all natural that, their products sucked. They turned to face and they sucked. So it doesn't matter. It's in the past. So Yeah, 3 years with MHP, 3 years with Primera Sports. I was a animal athlete for 6 months. That was fucking terrible. Yeah, that was not good. I ended that one myself as well. I was not pleased being an animal athlete. I didn't fit their mold very well either. I wasn't that all business. This is no fun all bit. Just that like Roger McGrath and all their animal bullshit. All their I don't know. So I was with them for 6 months. At the same time, the Tiny Meeker was also sponsored with Animal because they opened their doors up a little bit and they wanted to start sponsoring powerlifters. So they got a few full power guys, some raw guys, some equipped guys on the team, and then that 6 months, and then I was like, I'm done with y'all. So anyhow, but yeah, like I said, training is ramping back up. This weekend's going to be fun. I have gotten back into heavy benching just within a few weeks, maybe a month or two, and I already need a change up. And I'm going to do something this Saturday that I have never. Let me make sure. No, I have never done this. I'm going to do my shirted bench work with chains, like all the chains we have in the gym. I think we have about 100 to 120 pounds worth of chains. So I'm going to do all my shirt work from like my first set in the shirt to the last with 100 pounds of chains. I'm just going to fucking do it and try it. Just to really throw a curveball at my own training. I need that once in a while. What was happening with the band shirts leading up to 1400 was training got very, very stagnant. It was always really heavy, always straight weight. My forearm was just always in fragments and pieces. It just hurt like shit. So I need a fucking curveball. What shirt are you in now? I'm flip flopping back and forth. I'm training in I'm in the F8s. I was in poly there for a minute. I was using a 2-ply F6 from Anderson because F6 is thinner than Katana and a little bit stretchier. Not like it's not SDP stretchy, but it's stretchier than the Katana material. So I started using the poly, and then I kind of didn't have fun with that. It stretched out, and I needed alterations. And I'm like, I got the Arnold coming up. I'm just going to go back to the band shirts for a while, and now I'm just in the band shirts. I think no, they're all in my trunk. I had one sitting back here, and I put them all in my trunk yesterday. So it just depends. Like I got to figure out what to use for the Arnold. Because the shirt that I've benched 1,400 pounds with at my current size, I can't really realistically touch anything lighter than like high 13s or 1,400 fucking pounds. And at this meet, it's not about biggest bench wins. It's who can get all 3 attempts and have the highest bench total. So you can't miss one. You have to get all 3. So I am kind of experimenting with like different shirts, different layers, seeing which one's going to work the best for what I needed for that particular competition. And then for the last man standing, I wore a single ply F8 this past Arnold and went up to 1,000 pounds with it. So that's pretty simple. I'll just wear my single ply F8 on Sunday. For Saturday, I'm thinking I have an overly like it's too big. It is too big. I have a really big 4-ply, but I don't know if it's going to work. Or I have a smaller 3 that I might use. I'm going to bring both this weekend and experiment with both and see. Then again, I'm using chains, but like even such, we'll see how they both perform. Oh, you're sorry, Wonder Man. Yes, if you want to message me the link for that, I thought you were, because you said you gotta start getting to work. I thought you meant like you were just hopping off. Sorry about that. But yeah, man, the Arnold's gonna be fucking fun. We've got a lot to. It's gonna be a busy weekend. I as soon as the Arnold is over, like the Monday, like after we left on Sunday to go back home, I was already looking forward to the next one, like the next year. Like it's that much fun. Let's see. Christopher says, so you could theoretically bench 1250 or 1300 each attempt and build the highest total, or does each attempt have to be higher progression? I mean, just like any traditional meet, you can't, if I bench 12, I can't bench 12 on my second or third. I have to go like 12, 1205, 1210. You have to make minuscule jumps each attempt. So that's how it works. Yeah, I mean, you're still building a total, but each attempt have to be higher. Yeah, you have to go up a little bit. Like in any traditional meet, you can't repeat the same. If you miss a weight, you can repeat it. If you get a successful lift at 500 pounds, your next lift has to, at a minimum, be either a kilogram or a 2.5 pound kilogram jump or a 5 pound jump. So yeah. Dave Van Eaton says, I look at food and put on weight. Is it rough for you to keep it on? It's not, actually. It's working out quite well. At this moment, I'm not trying to actively like gain weight. I am trying to take in the appropriate amount of protein and calories I need to have the power output that I require for these workouts. Because I got my back workout is tomorrow morning, and back days sometimes are so damn rough and hard to get through. I'll get to the gym and just sit there and be like, oh, fuck. Like, I just know how damn hard it's going to be. So, yeah. So to get through shit like that, like the first thing I do in the morning, what Philip's asking here, he says, what's your number one protein source? The first thing I do in the morning before I leave for the gym, we train at 10 o'clock in the morning on Tuesdays. So I only train on the evenings, Wednesdays and Sundays. Sundays at 4, Wednesdays at 6. But I train at 10 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So in the mornings, first thing I do, I wake up and I mix 4 or 5 scoops of my weight gainer. And that's about 900 to 1,000 calories. Just drink it all. Let it sit for an hour as I'm driving to the gym and everything. And then I work out on 1,000 calories. Then, of course, I've got, hydration and sodium all day, every day. So my main source of protein is my weight gainer. I tried kind of backing off the weight gainer and going with like straight like whey, just a whey product. I don't like the way they taste. And it's not the amount, it's not the, I need those calories to do these kind of lifts. So weight gainer has been, I was high 275s. I was in the 260, 270 range. And I did my first 1,000-pound bench weighing 273. And fucking fly, dude. And then I was like, okay, because I was taking in I was doing whey. I think I was doing the BSN. Oh, remember BSN? I was using their protein. I was still doing that whole mathematical formula of like 1.3 or 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. That's the formula I was always using. They don't have carbs like weight gainers do, so that makes sense. Yeah, that's why I always take the weight gainers. I never used to, though. I was doing that mathematical formula, taking just protein. I was strong, but my body weight never went anywhere. My strength wasn't having like these leaps and bounds, and then I started listening to Scott Mendelson, which I do that a lot. I was listening to Mendy, and he was talking about weight gainer, and I was like, okay, I'm going to re-listen to this for a second. And he was talking about 12,000 calories a day, and I was like, that's a lot. Also, a lot of protein along with that, And I listened to J.M. Blakely talking to Dave Tate on one of his podcasts about how calories are so important. Calories, and how the body doesn't know the difference between a calorie from a pizza or a calorie from, a McDonald's breakfast sandwich. That a calorie is a calorie no matter where it comes from. And so I started thinking about that. And the one analogy that J.M. Blakely used, I'll never forget this. He said, okay, and this really stuck. He said, you're building a house and you want the house to get built quicker. Build it faster. So you bring in more workers to try to build the house faster. I need more workers. I need more workers, right? More work. But they're all just standing there like, we don't have anything to build with. We're a shitload of workers here, but there's no material. He said, you need more bricks. For some reason, I worked in a brick plant for 3 years, so I think bricks stuck out in my brain and made it stick. Just kind of plugged it in. It was like, you need more bricks. You need more material to build with. You can send all the workers you want to the build site. If they don't have material, they don't have more bricks, you can't build anything. He's like, you need calories. You need calorie-dense foods. And I was like, that makes perfect fucking sense. So ever since then, my main source of protein has been the weight gainers. And I've had a lot of success. I just talked the shit out of MHP for like 10 minutes. And I still use their weight gainer to this day. It's on top of my fridge right out there. I just buy the 12-pound bag, drink it till it's almost gone. Another 12-pound bag. It gets here in time. Boom. So, yes, weight gainers. You just sent the video on Instagram. Thank you, Unrep Max. Appreciate you. Okay, hope to catch you next week. Have a great rest of your week and Turkey Day. Have a happy Turkey Day as well. So I'll go ahead. We got a few minutes left. Again, if you're on YouTube, I really appreciate if you would like the video, maybe subscribe to the channel. I think I was 1 subscriber away from 3,800 subscribers as soon as we went and started this live. So if you could do that for me, guys, that'd be fantastic. We are doing custom programs right now. I just put out a Instagram story not too long ago. I started making custom bench programs. I did fill my spots, but what I do is custom bench programs via, I just design a custom program for you from scratch. We talk about how you currently train, what your goals are. And I design one from scratch, 12 weeks, 2 bench days a week. And you can keep in contact with me the whole time while you're going through it. We can change things. We can talk about it. Hey, I don't understand this. What's this? I can talk to you about it. Those I charge $300 for. And that's full custom, 12 weeks, 2 days a week. And I keep in full contact with you throughout the entire process. The other one is where I actually coach you week by week. One-on-one message, calling, Instagram messages, whatever it is. Week by week, I coach you through 12 weeks of benching. That's a little bit more expensive. That's around $400, but all my spots got filled. I had a lot of messages very quick, so they all got filled. When those spots are available again, look out for my Instagram, watch my stories. I will have a bulletin that says coaching spots available, please DM. Okay. We also have Patreon. Patreon is $10 a month. If you guys want to see what I do in the gym, every rep and every set that I do in the gym of every movement from when I first walk in the doors till the time I leave, 5 days a week, I record all of it. I put it on Patreon. It's $10 a month. If you want to watch that, that'd be fantastic. The same content is available on YouTube members. It's uploaded at the exact same time. If you want to have to go through the hassle of downloading another app and finding me on Patreon, you can just go to YouTube members. Again, $10 a month to watch everything I do. We also do seminars. I did quite a few seminars this year. If you want me to come to your gym, come to your hometown, host a seminar, just DM me. We can talk about it. I have a flat rate. There's no minimum head count. There's no time limit really. I can do 1 day or 2 day. All I require is the flat rate paid plus 2 nights in the hotel just because we're traveling. And I'll come to your gym. We will do a seminar. We'll have a workout together. We'll eat food afterwards. You name it. So if you're interested in that as well, again, just DM me if you want details. And I can try to come to your hometown and your gym and host a bench press seminar. Jay Kopp is on here. Hey, man, hope everything is good. What would you recommend for back-to-back bench-only meets, like only a couple weeks apart? I've done that. I did a meet out in California. Ooh, the only time I was ever out in California. I did one meet out there. It was actually supposed to be one of Mendy's meets. Long story. I'm not going to get into that part. Meet got canceled. Did a different meet. It was one of Steve Dennison's meets. when the USPA was brand new. I didn't know my lesson yet. Sorry. But I bombed out there trying to bench 900 pounds for the first time. I flew back to Ohio that following Wednesday, and then that very next Saturday, I did a meet, one of John Blackson's APF meets. I got a PR bench of like I think I did 840 that day or 825 or some shit like that. So back to back, it can be done, but between those weeks, because you said back to back bench only meets on a couple weeks apart. So during those couple weeks, it's not going to be very smart to try to like bench really heavy. You're not going to gain any strength in only 2 weeks. What you need to do in those 2 weeks is just maintain what you have, right? So via doing volume, doing reps, maybe getting your shirt one time just to kind of keep the feel. Not even going up to an opener weight, 2 weeks apart to clarify. Good. Yeah. Getting your shirt at least once in those 2 weeks. Don't even go up to your opener weight. Just literally go up to like maybe 70%, 75% of your max. Just hit it for a 1 or 2 reps to a 2 board or a 1 board. Call it done. You need lots of reps. You need volume. You definitely need to stay hydrated. I cannot talk about the Element packets enough. Again, I am not sponsored by Element, but I believe in that product. I get really strong off of it. So it can be done. If you want more details, obviously just reach out. We can talk about it more after this. I think we'll wrap it up there. It's been almost an hour. It is Turkey Week. We're not having turkey. We're having a Texas Roadhouse themed Friendsgiving. It's going to be fucking sweet. We're going to go bench, and then we're going to eat some fucking steak. So it's going to be awesome. So everybody, thank you for tuning in for this episode of Benching and Bullshitting. This has been episode 58. We're almost to the big 6-0. So please enjoy your holiday. Enjoy the family. Enjoy the food. Still hit the gym, man. Nothing changes, right? It's just a holiday. Still got to lift the weights and everything. We got things coming up. So, all right, everybody, please have a good rest of your week. We will be back here next Monday. Maybe. I think we're traveling. Fuck. We will not be here next week. We'll be back sometime. Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Philip. Thanks for hopping on here. Thank you all for hopping on here on YouTube. Again, that is Wendell. What's up? Thank you. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Benching and Bullshitting with me, Jimmy Kolb. And you all have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next time.